right. Let me know. Let me know when you guys are in. Find you on my phone here. Da da da. Trying to find you guys on my phone. It's always hard to find it. There it is. First in. Hi, welcome Ken. What's up, Jose? Orozco. Ken Bloxton. Welcome, man. Glad you're here. What's up, Mike? That's everyone. Okay, let's get going. Hey, Meyer. What's up, man? Hey guys, just want to thank you guys just for being friends and for being helpful to my YouTube channel. It means a lot. I know my world doesn't really matter a whole lot, but I'm thankful for you guys supporting me, and I'm trying to support you guys with charts and things, and so you can make better trades. So thank you guys for supporting me. I really appreciate it. I'm really thankful. What's up, Hunticus? Is that Dale? Dale, is that you? Hunticus? Can't see it. I can't see it in the picture, but I think it's you. Also, we just so you know, we hit let's see, hit 839 subscribers. That's pretty cool. Let's try to get 20 or 30 more in this live stream. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Been averaging about 100 every 10. Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't see the picture, so I wasn't sure if it was Dale or anybody else. Sorry about that. Anyway, try to get up to 1,000. That's our goal. So thank you guys for your help. We'll just kind of stall and wait. I'll let you know what I got going tonight. Y'all, I got Toffee. That is the best candy in the world right now. If you've never had it, you can get it at Walgreens. I think Walmart sometimes sells it, but so good. It is a little caramel thing with hazelnut inside of it and chocolate. Oh man, it is awesome. So when I'm not talking and you guys are talking or whatever, then I had to pick up some pack of Twizzlers. I'm just all prepped for tonight. Of course, it's a live stream. I won't be able to do a lot of eating, but there might be a moment. So yeah, I got a Coke. So I'm ready to rock. Ready to rock. If you're here, there's 10 of you here. Just chime in. Just let me know you're here and say hi, and I'll say hi back, and we'll get started here in just a minute. What's up, Dean? Dean, g'day, mate. I didn't see that. We should say aloha to Dean. Dean lives in Hawaii. I'm going to come visit you when I'm Bitcoin rich. How's that? That'd be awesome. All right. Yeah, if you guys can hit the like button, that'd be awesome. That helps the YouTube algorithm, really does. Thank you all for commenting on the videos too every day. That's pretty sweet. It keeps me encouraged, and it's really helping. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. I'll tell you what, you guys are really just helping me out. All right, well, let me try to help you guys out. I thought I would give at the beginning, and you tell me. I want you guys to let me know. So give me some feedback here. Just a beginning lesson in Elliott Wave as far as the best way to begin learning how to count the waves yourself. Is that something you guys would be interested in? I could just give you a quick 5-minute, show you how to begin counting the waves yourself. so you can understand, and then show you a little bit of, again, how to use the fibs, you know, in that process as well. Is that something you guys would be interested in? Or I can just jump into the count, what I think is going on with BTC. MJ says, yes, please. All right. Anybody else interested in that? Yes, please. Okay. Awesome. That's one of the things I want to do here is just help you guys learn Elliott Wave. I know it's scary for you. So while we're waiting for more people to come in, let me just kind of begin just talking about you know, basic Elliott Wave principles. Okay, here's the basic thing that you need to remember. Let me just zoom out to like the 8 hour for a minute here. This is BTC. So there's the 8 hour. I'm going to just come over here where I've got room. You need to realize that the first thing you need to learn is the basic Elliott wave structure. I'm going to try to give you some rules. Okay, it's 5 waves of an impulse. Now that impulse could be to the upside or to the downside. So when we're talking about impulses and whatnot, you got to remember that we could be talking up, an impulse to the upside, or an impulse to the downside. Now, a couple of things that just highlights the impulse wave. This is an impulse wave of 5 waves. First off, the 1 and the 5 wave are often very similar in size. Not always the case, but just they're often similar. Doesn't have to be, but often similar. Secondly, the 3 wave is often the longest wave, most often the longest wave, but it doesn't have to be the longest wave. So in other words, when you're thinking about an Elliott wave impulse, you're always looking for the longest wave to be the 3rd wave for the most part. But here's the rule in Elliott wave: it doesn't have to be the longest, it just cannot be the shortest wave. So if you see what you think is a 3 wave, but it's the shortest wave, that's not a 3 wave. Okay, so that's another principle you need to know. Another principle that you need to know is not only do we have, let me go back, we got 5 waves. 1 and 5 are similar in size often, but not always, but often. 3 is generally the biggest most of the time, but not always. It just cannot be the smallest. And the 4 wave cannot retrace. If we drew a line from here to there, okay, the 4 wave can't come and break the plane of the 1. It's not allowed to. If it does, there's only a particular circumstance in which that can happen. Okay, and that's called a diagonal. A diagonal, you'll know a diagonal by its shape. It'll look like a wedge, and the waves will look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. If you don't see something like that you can draw a wedge shape in, then that's not a valid, you know, wave. So you're looking for a wedge if the 1 and the 4 overlap each other. Okay, so if that's the case, this is a basic impulse wave. 1 and 5 are often similar in size, but they don't have to be. 3 is generally the longest wave, but it doesn't have to be. It just can. The rule is it cannot be the shortest, and the 4 wave cannot retrace into the 1. So those are some things. So as you begin identifying what wave is what on a chart, you got to know those rules. So write those down, okay? All right, I've repeated those several times. They'll be in the video. You can see that. The next, after an impulse wave, you're going to have generally a 3-wave correction, which we label ABC. Now, what do we know about that? What can we say about ABC? Generally, ABC is going to be 3 waves, where B always has 3 waves. A sometimes has 3 waves, but most of the time A has 5 waves, and C always has 5 waves. Okay, so that's the delineation there. Also, the correction size, the size of the correction, should be in proportion to the impulse wave. Okay, it needs to be the same kind of proportional size. When you use a retrace tool, you're generally going to have your ABC retrace down to the 50% mark, to the 618. These are 2 common areas that the ABC will correct to. So when you draw the retracement tool on your chart, look for that ABC correction down to 50% to 61% in that ballpark. We call the 61% to 65% the golden zone. Okay, how are we doing so far? It's just a beginning Elliott wave lesson. Okay, just things you need to realize, understand, and know. All right, now a couple of things about this impulse wave that you need to know. I don't always try to subcount 5 waves in wave 1, but you need to know that wave 1 needs 5 waves. And all the rules need to apply to everything I said. So 4 can't retrace into 1, 3 needs to be the longest, or at least it can't be the shortest, things like that. The third wave is also going to have 5 impulse waves. Okay, so it's going to have subwaves of 5 with all the same rules I've already told you. Okay, and then the 5th wave will have the same. So that's how the subwaves would be seen right there. Now the 2 wave and the 4 wave, that's what we call corrective waves, and they go opposite the trend. Okay, they go opposite the trend, so you're going to have ABC opposite the trend. Okay, that's a 3-wave correction. So if I took off this, before I do that, and then the 4 wave is going to be, now there's a rule about the 2 and the 4. So they're both going to be corrective, and they're going to be 3 waves. And here's the rule of alternation. That if the 2 wave is a simple zigzag, then the 4 wave is going to be a flat or a sideways correction. So if you have a steep correction here, or a zigzag, you're going to have a flat correction in the 4 wave, or a triangle, or something like that. Generally, by the way, triangles only happen in the 4 wave, or they only happen in a B wave. So that's enough. I'm just giving you, just a little shotgun here of some guidelines, and it's a lot to learn and remember, but I don't want to overwhelm you. Now, I just want to show you something. If I take off the main wave here, what you'll see is you got an impulse wave, correction, impulse wave, correction, impulse wave, then big correction. So an Elliott Wave system is 3 pushes to the upside, then a correction. And that's the way we look. That's the way we look at it. So what you need to learn to do then is to learn to spot the 5s and the 3s. 5s and the 3s. Okay, with those rules in mind. So let's go and let's just look at BTC together, and let's see if we can spot 5s and 3s. Okay? All right. How are we doing so far? Any questions about what I just shared so far? Especially those of you that wanted to know about that. Excuse me, my nose is itching. I'll pause just for a second. How's it going? If you're just joining us, welcome. We're going through just kind of a little basic Elliott Wave crash course here, just because I want to just kind of help you guys begin to understand Elliott Wave, so you understand my videos all the more. Yeah. Okay, I got one feedback. MJ, how are you? All right. We'll keep rocking. All right, so let's apply what we just learned here. What we're looking for is we've got an impulse wave. Okay, we don't have a corrective. When you look at this structure, just looking at it, okay, it looks like an impulse. This is the shape of a correction, ABC. Okay, and this is what you see. Well, MJ, do you have any questions about that? I don't want to go too fast. You got any questions about what we've gone so far, or you just want to let it sink in for a minute? I tell you what, well, let's just start applying it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think it'll help you. Okay, so what we want now is what I normally do is I just step back on the large time frame, and I'm looking for shape. Okay, so let me show you the 2 different shapes we're looking for. Impulse. Okay, there's impulse. Let me draw it with my pen. There's an impulse wave. Here's a correction. They look similar at the beginning. This 1, 2, 3 wave looks similar to an impulse, but you'll notice that this is often very deep, and this is your correction shape. Okay, so when I just look at this, that looks impulsive to me. It doesn't look corrective. Okay, so look what we've got. I see one just jumping out at me. I see 1, 2. Excuse me. Let me try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just jumping out at me without putting any fibs on it, without looking at it. It's just that's the first thing I see. Now, I should be able to see 5 waves in here. I can't see them on that time frame, right? And so you need to understand that. But the 3 wave, generally, if you could see the 3 wave, you can generally see the 5 subwaves of the 3. So I always, as a measure of trying to figure out if it's the 3 wave or not, is I will actually do the sub count of the 3. I'm always looking for the sub count of the 3. It's one of the only waves. The 5 wave, I'm often looking for it as well, but it's one of the only waves I do the sub count for. Okay, so let me show you the sub count for the 3. So if this is 1, 2, this is my 3 wave right here. Okay, so let's just take everything off the chart. This is just the 3 wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 subwaves there. It looks like a good 3. So that kind of helps us there. So the way I would label this right now is I get my Elliott tool here. It's over here in this list right here, and you'll see Elliott impulse wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we're looking for. And we click at the bottom, click at the top. There's 1, 2, and every click gives you another number. 3, 4, 5. Now, let's do something for fun. Let's zoom in right here into this 1 wave, and let's find the 5 subwaves of it. We can't see it in this time frame, so let's go down to a smaller time frame. Let's try the 2-hour chart. Okay? Zoom, let's move the chart, There it is. Now let's see if we can find 5 subwaves here in this first wave. Okay, I'm going to get this off of there just to be out of the way. Just looking at it without doing anything special, there's my first wave, 1, 2. Now for my third wave, I'm going to come all the way up here, 3, 4, 5. Now why did I do that? Why did I skip all of these waves? Because I'm looking, my eyes are trained to see the 5 subwaves of 3 without even looking. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 subwaves of the 3. I'm always looking for the 5 subwaves of 3 when I'm doing an Elliott count generally. That's really the only wave I really concern myself with, whatever time frame I'm in. So we're in the 1 hour or the 2-hour chart here. I'm zoomed way into this wave. You remember how small it was on the daily. And so just looking at this wave, what I do is I got a 1, 2. Okay, then there's a clear delineation right there of another wave, but it's the big one. 1, 2, 3, right there. 4. Here's a 4 wave, and then 5. And what you'll also find is that the 5th wave is often very countable as well. Let's look at it. Let's look at this 5th wave right here, and let's see if we can see the subwaves. You see them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see the subwaves. Now, let's look at the corrective wave. You see this corrective wave here? What do you see? Here's your corrective shape, ABC. So you have right here, I'm going to make this really fat, and I'm going to change the color to blue here. So you see, there's a corrective shape, and then there's an impulse shape. You see that? So that's correction, impulse. So when you're interpreting Elliott waves, you need to train yourself to look at the difference between a corrective wave and an impulsive wave. And I don't know where my chart just went. There we go. Okay, let's do this 5th wave here and count the subwaves of this 5th wave. Again, trying to get, there we go. So here's the 5th wave. I'm just going to get this off the chart. Okay, now what does your eye see right away? Just right away, what do you see right away? Well, what I see right away is there's 1, 2. You see it? Okay, now where's the 3? My eye tells me there, right here at this area. 4 and then 5. Why did I do that? Because I immediately saw 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm looking for the 5 subwaves of 3, and so my eye just is trained to see it. 1, 2, and I've been doing this a long time, so I've been trained to see it. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's 5 subwaves. Boom, right there. So that's my 3rd wave. And so when I'm counting Elliott waves, I generally, for quick counts, all I'm doing is I look for the 1 wave, and then I look for the 3 wave, but I want to make sure I can see the 5 waves in the 3. Okay, and so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that, like I already showed you. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, that's an impulse wave. Now look at this next wave. This is BTC. So look at the next wave that comes after an impulse. You see it? There is your Elliott wave structure right there. 5 subwaves, 3 subwaves, 5s and 3s. So when you start seeing when you start seeing 5 waves everywhere, you know you're dealing with an impulse wave to the upside, or to whatever side you're going. When you start seeing 3 waves everywhere, you're dealing with a correction. Okay, so when you're dealing with 3 waves, correction. 5 waves, impulse. Okay, so let's look at the corrective waves for a minute. Change it to blue here. Okay. So there's 3 waves right there. There's 3 waves right there. Now notice you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. That is a 3, 3, 5. That's an ABC correction right there. Okay? So that's a 3, 3, 5 correction. That's a flat is what it's called, for all intents and purposes. Intents and purposes. Did y'all know that? It's not intensive purposes, it's intents and purposes. I didn't know that for the longest time. Anyway, for the what it's worth department. Okay, good. You got impulse and corrective. Excellent. So here is when I say that's a corrective wave, what I mean is it's a wave that's going in 3 waves opposite of the trend. Okay, 3 waves opposite the trend. So the trend was up. Now we got 3 waves opposite. That's corrective. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's an ABC. That's the way I would label that. So let's label that A, B, C. Now what do you see next? What do you see next? Well, I see this is an impulse wave. There's 5 waves there. Then there's 3 waves to the downside, and then another 5 waves to the up. That's impulsive. Okay, so I see a 5, a 3, and a 5. You know what that is? That's a corrective wave. That's an ABC as well. That's just another kind of ABC. So we're going to label this A, B, C. Okay, so now we got an ABC followed by an ABC to the opposite direction. So what that's telling me is that, you know what we need next to finish this correction out for Bitcoin? From an Elliott Wave perspective, what we need is another ABC. Because when you have an ABC followed by an ABC followed by an ABC, okay, what you actually have is a WXY, which is made up of ABC, ABC, ABC. And that's the structure that Bitcoin is making, in my opinion, right now. A potential structure that Bitcoin is making right now. I'm going to show you why it's potential in just a minute. So, but do you see how Elliott Wave gives you a structure in which to analyze and see what's going on here? It's just really hard to interpret what's being made in the immediate time frame, because you have to know what Elliott Waves are, and you have to be able to interpret an unfinished pattern. You can, once the pattern is finished, you see it. You're like, there it is. And so what I'm bringing to the table for you guys is a way to say, okay, I see this pattern being formed, and so far, what we're seeing in the pattern, this is what it likely could be, and there might be a couple of options, and I try to show you those options. I don't know what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen. That's why I can't stand those comments when somebody says, well, what you just said is it's going to go up or it's going to go down. Yeah. Am I peddling knowing the future? Listen, I wouldn't even be bothering with this. I would not even be bothering with this YouTube channel if I knew what was going to happen. I mean, I was just like, I'd go to Hawaii where Dean is. I'd sit there with my laptop and then make my $1 million trades. I mean, really, who is even acting like he knows what's going on? Sorry, I'm a little bit of a rant. But I mean, I'm just like, why do people think that that's what I'm doing? I'm simply saying, based upon what we see, this looks like it could be part of this type of structure. And based on what we see, well, it definitely couldn't be part of that structure because it breaks the rules. And so I know the rules. And so I'm trying to apply all these rules for you and teach you guys along the way. All right, rant over. So we've got ABC followed by ABC. I'm looking for another ABC. And so the question is, what is the best way to interpret what we have? Well, so far, one of the ways is this is A, that's B, and we're making C. Okay? So there you go. That's a potential. So now this C wave needs to have 5 subwaves. Okay? So here's 1, 2, 3. It's going to be long. 4, 5. And remember, Remember, what is that third wave going to look like? Okay, so C, let's just remind you, and at ABC, let me just remind you the rules. A, B, C. The fifth wave, always, 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 without fail, has 5 subwaves. Okay, so if this is an ABC, so the question is, could it be something else? Yeah, it could be something else, and I'm going to talk to you about what it could be in just a minute. But if this is an ABC, if my assertion is correct, if I've interpreted everything else correctly, and this is an ABC, and I don't know that until the pattern is finished out, I'm expecting 5 waves to the downside. So if that's the case, what should that 5 waves look like? Well, the 1 wave is complete, the 2 wave is in, it's 3 waves and a zigzag. Now, what we need to have in this third wave is 5 subwaves in the third wave. Okay, so let's look. Let's see if we can see them. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit here to maybe the 3-hour chart. Zoom in just a little. I want to make sure I'm not going crazy on you. Y'all chat at me every now and then. Just let me know how you're processing this. Okay, so we got 1, a 2. Okay, now, so I'm looking for 5 waves in this third wave, and I want to count them. So let's do it. Let's get a different color. Let's get red. So I see 1, 2. It jumps right out at me. 3, 4. Shut the door. 5. That could be the third wave. Such a hard time sometimes. Could be the third wave. If that's the case, then we would have basically 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have a 4. Can't break the plane of this 1 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 can't come too far. And then 5 to the downside, putting us down in this region down here to finish out our correction. Okay, now, what else could this be? It could be an ABC, because we actually have a triangle potentially forming. In a triangle, everything is made up of 3 waves. You got 3 waves everywhere. I don't care what kind of triangle you have, everything is 3 waves. So there's different types of triangles. We've got, I'm going to have to draw them like this with this tool. So you could have a symmetrical triangle, okay? And in that triangle, you're going to have 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves until it breaks out to one side or the other. Okay? That's a symmetrical triangle. You could have what you call an ascending triangle, and an ascending triangle has the top line is horizontal and the bottom line is ascending. And again, in that kind of wave structure, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, till it breaks up to the upside. Ascending triangles break up. Then you could have what's called a descending triangle, where the bottom line is horizontal, like this, and you have a descending top line, and it has basically 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves, 3 waves until it breaks out to the downside. Descending triangles generally break out to the downside. So those are some chart patterns, okay, that could play out. All triangles are made up of 3 waves because triangles are corrective. Triangles are corrective. So they're going to be 3 waves all over the place. It's a consolidation pattern. It's a market maker play to take your money is what it is. That's what a triangle is. Now, if that's the case, look at what we have here. Let me just draw this a little thicker. See it? So out of everything, out of those different triangles that I said, what is the triangle that could be forming right now? I'll wait for that answer. And let me look at MJ's question here. Yeah, it's dangerous to trade small time frames, MJ. The larger the time frame, the better. So what you want to try to do, if you're learning to trade, is try to trade these big swings. Okay, so in other words, the best entry here would have been to enter in this region and trade it up to the trend line. Okay, enter in this region, trade it down. Okay, those are the best swings on the larger time frames. This is a 6-hour chart. Okay, I'll show you in a minute what some trades could look like, MJ. Just a second. I'll definitely answer that question, I promise. But what kind of triangle is that based on the ones I just showed you? Do I have anybody here? Is there anybody listening? Am I just talking to myself? I'm gonna have a tough affair. Okay, remember the different kind of triangles I mentioned. You've got a symmetrical triangle, a descending triangle, and then ascending triangle. Which one does it look like? Stop. Not good with the pen. Hey, got a new subscriber, Craig Coleman. Welcome to the channel, sir. Glad you made it. There you go. It's descending. That's right. Out of those options, we're looking at descending. Rock on, Junior Todd, Jr. Todd. All right. So that's a possibility here. Okay. So we don't want to rule that out. So if that's the case, then what we need to see are 3 waves everywhere. We got 3 waves. We got 3 waves. Now we got 3 waves here, and we're coming down to that trend line, which is that $99,000 mark. Oh, you got it too, MJ. Sorry about that. And Risky Road, you get the participation award. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. All right. Sorry. All right. Oh, by the way, Risky Road reminded me the other day. This isn't financial advice, guys. This is not financial advice. Thank you for that reminder. She was very kind to remind me of that the other day. I often don't say it in my videos like I should. Not financial advice. Not financial advice. Okay, so so we've got 3 waves, 3 waves. Now, so we're looking for 3 waves here. Okay, right there. So if that's the case, now this could be a WXY. And now if it's a WXY, look at something interesting. If this is a WX and a Y, which I think it could be, this Y wave, the Y, remember a WXY is just a double correct. It's a double ABC. So it's ABC, and then you got an ABC on the downside, and this is an ABC. This is an ABC on the upside. Sorry, I just burped right in your ears. Sorry about that. So yeah, caught on camera, yawning and burping. This is a great channel. Best channel out there. All right, this is me. This is just me. Y'all are my friends. Y'all in my living room. So if this is a Y wave, we should be ABCing it. So if that's the case, ABC is going to have 5 waves here, 3 waves here, and then 5 waves again, something like that. So let's look at this in the lower time frames. Let's look at this wave right here. So here's the C wave of that Y potentially. Okay, let's look at this wave first. What do you see right away? Right away, what do you see? 1, get out of the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see it? Do you see it? Do you see it, boys? Swiper, no swiping. Do you see it? Guys, I'm so excited. Next weekend, I'm going to see Brian Regan. He's hilarious. And you'll hear me every now and then just using one of his voices. Funny stuff. Hope y'all like Brian Regan. If you don't, he's a clean comedian. He works cleanly and so funny. All right, so there's 5 waves right there. So that would be our A wave, okay? This would be our B, and then our C would be in the making. Now, in the C wave, what do we need? We need to have 5 waves. So if this is an ABC here, we need to see 5 waves. Tell me what you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to make the 5th wave down to this trend line. Okay, so in Bitcoin, this is one of my counts that I'm really digging into. That it is a strong potential. We come down here to 9,000, 9,100 in that ballpark, and we bounce there. And where are we going to go if we bounce there? We're going to go in 3 waves to the upside. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. That potentially, that's a potential. A potential. Yeah, that would be a big swing trade, MJ. Yes. So what I would do if I were you, now listen, if you wanted to trade this wave to the downside, I'm short. I just went short tonight. So let's zoom in. Let me just show you where I entered short. And I haven't talked about the fibs tonight, really, and I need to talk about that in just a minute. So let me explain to you. But I'm short. Now, why am I short? Well, number one, this is because this is what I saw. I saw, just looking at this, I had 5 waves, 3 waves. I'm looking, so if I have 5 waves followed by 3 waves, what comes after 5 waves followed by 3 waves? Another 5 waves, at least. And so I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, where's the 5th wave? There. It's going to come. So, because I know that, I wanted to see this wave finish in 3 waves. Okay? I wanted to see it come. Okay? Now, if this is a 4 wave, remember our rules now. Sorry. I'm trying to get it where you can see it. Remember our rules here. This 4 wave cannot come up and break this region of the 1 wave. It can't come up into here. So you can draw a line in your chart, okay, and make sure that this wave doesn't come up into here. So it is a potential for this wave to come on up to 10,000. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a potential. A lot of times that 4 wave will retrace at structure lines. So here's the structure point. So 99 was a target of mine. That I mentioned yesterday in today's video. Okay, and see this structure point right here and this structure point right here. So this wave has come up into this region. I'm thinking we might still hit $9,900. That's a potential before we go down. So let's look at this wave, see where we expect it to end. Okay. Now the only way that this thing is going up is and breaking highs right now is if somehow, some way, there's 5 waves here, okay? And so you say, what would be those 5 waves? I mean, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, an extended 5th wave? That doesn't look right to me. This looks more like a 3 wave to me, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like that to you? This looks like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's the 5 waves of the 3rd wave. That's the way it looks to me. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potentially. So I don't know. But this is a corrective shape. It looks corrective to me. Everything in it is measuring correctively. I haven't talked about that, but I talk about it all the time in my videos, what corrective fibs are. So let's just look at that for just a minute. So we measure the 1st wave down to the 2nd wave. See how this... I'll just show you what we got here. See this shape right here? What do you see? That's an ABC, okay? There's an ABC. It came right to the 1276. That's a corrective location. So when you have that, that's a corrective shape. So this is an A, a B, and a C. So if that's the case, we ought to be able to count 5 waves in this C, okay? Look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 waves. Notice, if this is my 1 wave right here, the top of my 1 wave is right here. Look where the 4 wave came. Look where the four wave came down here and touched the top of the one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 waves. So there's an ABC for you right there. Well, then it continued on. We got 3 waves to the downside. You say, Jim, that doesn't look like 3 waves. That looks like 5 waves. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's remember our rules and why this can't be a 5-wave impulse. Okay, why can it not be? Because you got a 1 and a 2. If that's your 3, well, this 4 came way up into the region of the 1. Okay, so that's not right. This is actually an A wave. That's a B wave, and then we've got a C wave right here. Okay. So basically, that's either an ABC or a WXY, something like that. This could just be a WXY. In fact, or it's an ABC, I can't tell. But, ABC, 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 something like that. I can't see it. You can't always tell, but there's basically a 3-wave shape there overall. Let's see if I can show it to you. See, this is the hard part of Elliott Wave, applying all these rules to the market. Okay, so there's 3 waves. So we got 3 ABC, we got ABC. Now look what we're getting, ABC. So when you got an ABC and an ABC and an ABC, who remembers what that is when you have just 3 waves all over the place and it's corrections? Does anybody remember? Rock on, Robert. Rock on. You get an A+. You get an A+. That's WXY. That's right. So what we do to measure, to figure out where that Y might finish up, is we got the first ABC. So we're going to take our fibs and we're going to go to the top of that guy. And then we're going to take our fibs to the bottom of the next wave, which is right there. So here's your next wave here. So I got the fibs up here. I got the fibs here. Okay? And that's going to give us the projection for the last wave. Look where we came up and hit. A, B, and a C. What have we come up? We came up and hit $9,800 at the 1-to-1 extension. Okay? Now, no, not a triangle. Not a triangle. Just saying. So you got A-, Robert. I'm just playing with you. So when you come to the 1-to-1 extension, that's a corrective fib level. That's corrective. Okay, but another corrective fib level is the 1.276 or the 1.27. So here are my targets. And remember how I said we could come up to structure here at 9,900 or 9,800? Well, I went ahead and entered my trade at 9,800. Oh, okay. Why did I do that? Well, I mean, it's not necessarily the smartest thing in the world, but it's not the worst thing either. I calculated the risk, okay? What I mean to say is that if we get a reversal off 9,800, I wanted to be in the trade and on that reversal. Okay, so I went ahead and entered an order right here, and it got filled right in those wicks. Okay, so I nailed this the top of this little wave here. That doesn't mean I hit the trade right, because you cuckoo. But what it means is that I'm expecting it down, okay, down to that $9,000 region, okay, because I'm expecting 5 waves to the downside. And this came to a fib level, okay, when I measured all of these. Now here's something else cool. Here's another reason why I entered at 98. Again, I could be wrong. It could be 99. But when I measure this wave all by itself, look how this 1-to-1 extension matches up with that 1-to-1 extension. I've got 2 1-to-1 extensions right next to each other. Of course, and this 1.276s, they don't line up quite as nicely. So when I have fibs lining up together really nicely, I kind of look at that. But if we get a down move from here, then I'm in the trade. Now, what else could happen? Well, basically, it might be a 4-wave that we're in right now. This could be something like this. If this is A and B, we've got a C wave. 1, 2, 3. This is 4, and we're going to go up 1 more wave to 99 and 5. So I'm prepared to take a loss, not take a loss, but to go in what we call drawdown for $100. Okay, so $100 in Bitcoin. The size of my the size of my position isn't that big. So for the price to move $100 backwards, I'm okay with it. I'll just sit through that. Now you say, Jim, what if it keeps going on you and you're just wrong? Well, that's where stop losses are for. Okay, so where would my stop loss be in this trade? Well, my stop loss would be there's a couple ways you can handle it, but stop loss would be beyond the 1618 up here. Okay, so we're talking about $200 in the price of Bitcoin moving. But here's something you have to also see. I pay attention to this wave structure as it's being made. If it makes it up here to this 1618, it's a 3-wave, but chances are it's going to come back as a 4-wave, and that's probably where I'll get out of the trade. That's a way to do it. Now, it could take off on you. That's why you could just set a stop loss. On the other side of the 1276 or the other side of the 1618. So a lot of times your corrective waves, they will come and they'll knock on the door to 1618, and they might even hit it and still go down. So just know that. Okay, let me get all this stuff off the screen. So my trade for this right now, basically I'm expecting, could be wrong. Listen, please know that about everything I say. I know I could be wrong, but this is what I think, and I'm telling you what I think. And if it's valuable to you, then like and subscribe. If it's not valuable for you, leave a snotty comment and don't ever come back. Because I don't know why people who don't like what I do keep coming back and then saying crap. I don't get that. I totally do not understand that. I'm trying to get that off my screen. Okay, so I'm expecting a 5-wave move down here to the downside. So I'm going to be trading it down to $9,100 to probably about 91. I'm going to be looking to take profit around $9,100. Then I'm going to watch and see what price does. If I get a reaction off of here, I'm going to go long. I'm hoping to. So we'll see. That's my trade. Okay, that's what I think Bitcoin could be doing. Now, I don't want to go any further, but I'm about to tell you what else Bitcoin could be doing that's not what I just did. So I want to explain it to you and tell you what else I think Bitcoin could be doing. I'm going to just pause for questions. 24 people, welcome 24. I don't know. There are people, MJ, that just I think they just hear about that somebody out there told them Elliott Wave doesn't work. But I just sat here and showed you how to interpret that market, and you can see it plain as day, and you can see the supply plain as day over and over and over in every video. Jason Arias, I promise I'll get to LTC, but I want to finish up Bitcoin, and I was just doing a little teaching for you guys so you guys can just understand better what I do every video. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I promise I'll do LTC next. If you just hang on with me, okay? All right, let me just show you what else BTC could be doing, just so you're aware. BTC, instead of making that triangle. Instead of making the triangle, I don't like this at all. I don't like what I'm about to tell you. I don't believe it, but it's possible. So I'm going to tell you. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, making the 5th wave. And this is, I don't like this at all. You going? Come here, Grace wants. Okay, all right. That was great. That was my daughter Grace. So I can't answer a question right now. I'm doing a live stream here. No. Goodbye. Bye bye. All right. I don't like that. Because that would mean we got 5 waves like this. How do you define? I mean, it's like this. It's real. That 5th wave is extended 5th. I don't like it. Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Something else I like better is this is an. I don't like it either. I don't know how to get 5 waves out of this, guys. I'd have to get 5 waves. Sorry. In order for this to be an A, B, and a C like that, this would have to be 5 waves. And this would have to be 5 waves in here. I don't see 5 waves in there. And that big long move here. I see A, or 1, 2. See, that's not 3. That's just a junk wave there. Nah. I mean, okay. Nah. I just don't see it, guys. This is 3 waves, clear as day. 3 waves, clear as day. Guys, I think we're looking for 3 waves. This has to be 5 waves. I think we're coming down to this trend line. I'm having a hard time seeing anything else. Having a hard time seeing anything else. Guys, I would watch that. Now, the way that could play out, let's talk about liquidity a little bit and market orders and things like that. Let's talk about how the market moves in relationship to where the orders are. Okay, so in the trading world, it's the banks against the retail traders. Who are the retail traders? That's you and me. We're retail traders. And we're playing against the people with big money, the banks. Some people call them the whales. Some people call them the market makers. They're banks. It's hedge funds and all these different groups that have lots of money. Okay, billions and billions of dollars. Okay, yep, yeah, it could be 92 for sure. MJ saw that. It does take a you got to learn. Your eye has to learn the Elliott Wave for sure. There's no doubt about it. It just takes practice. You just got to keep trying. So yeah, good point there. But that's why you've got me on your, that's why you watch my videos. I have a trained eye, and until you get it yourself, you can use mine. Now I'm not perfect, and I'll tell you when I don't know. But you see how I'm trying to see this any other way, and I can't see it. So I'm feeling pretty strong when we come down to this trend line. But here's what could happen. So the market makers, the banks, whoever has the money, they know in order to buy, if they want to take price to the upside, they want to buy, right? They want to buy. And so if they want to buy, they have to get retail traders to sell. Okay? They have to get retail traders to sell. So in order to do that, they have to make you think it's going down. Okay? And so when do traders go down? Okay, so traders generally draw these trend lines on their chart. I'm not the only one in the world that sees this triangle here. There are others that see that triangle. And the market makers see that triangle. In fact, they're printing that triangle. Okay? And so they're making it. They're moving price the way they want it to go. Now, and anybody that denies that just has no concept. It's not a conspiracy. It's not bad. It's not against the rules. It's just they have a lot of money and they have a lot of orders. And if they just bought everything right now with all their money right now, they would drive price sky high. So if they want to buy at a cheap price, they got to buy systematically. So they got to drive price down as they purchase. So they begin driving prices down, and then the retail sellers sell, and they buy the sells at different levels. And so they are layering into their buys right now, and that's what they do. And that's what's going on. We have to understand that and see that. So the retail trader sees this trend line, sees this liquidity zone right here. So you've got this zone right here where this is a lot of trading was going on right in here, buying and selling. That's why price is going up and down like that. And so that is a liquidity area, an area where money is moving like liquid. That's what we mean by liquidity. Money is moving. It's changing hands. It's oscillating and moving. And so when we say liquidity, it's an area where traders are willing to give their money up to buy or to sell. Okay, so in order to entice sellers, what traders will often do is they'll watch price come down. If it breaks this trend line, they will enter a short, no, because they think price is going down lower, right? So because they know that, what the market makers could do is take price just below that and then zoom it back up really quickly, and they create things like this wick right here. See that wick right there? Price went down really, really fast, and then they shot it back up. What do you think happened when price went down really, really fast? What did everybody think was going on? That was a 4-hour candle. So didn't just happen instantaneously. It happened within 4 hours. Okay, what happened here on this last candle? And then it shot back up. So why does price change direction so fast? Because they entice sellers. People are selling, and finally they start buying like crazy, and they take the price up. And then all of a sudden, everybody who sold is like, "Crap! What did I do?" That's why I have that motto on my channel: "Chill. The market always comes back." Why does it always come back? Because the market makers bring it back. So when you see price moving really, really fast, just chill. It'll be back. It will be back. Don't fret. Okay. Now, you may have to wait a while for it. You may have to be patient. It may be days or weeks, but price will be back. Okay? I don't recommend that you wait through bad trades all the time. Just saying. Don't sell at the bottom, please. Just hold at that point. All right. So, what they could do then is basically bring price in 5 waves down really fast, break this line, bring it back, and then come up here. Okay, that's a play I can kind of see happening. So I was talking to a good trader friend of mine. He might be watching this live stream. I don't know. He's got a good channel called Trading Shapes. Check it out. Well, if you're watching, chime in. Okay. But that was something we were talking about tonight as a possibility. So, that's a possibility. We could be basically coming down to this trend line, wick through it, and head on back up. So I'm going to be looking for a long in here. So I'm going to be watching for reversal patterns. Okay, I want to see 5 waves complete. I want to see a nice wick down to this, just a really, really fat candle, and then shoot back up. That would be awesome. If you see that, that might be a good place to take a long there. And then reevaluate things as you get to this trend line. Because, man, I mean, that's going to be, what, $9,000, $9,100 in that ballpark, all the way up to $11,000 maybe in that ballpark, $10,008 in that region. I mean, that's a fantastic trade there. That's a good trade. So, MJ, that's a good big swing for you to watch for. Okay? It is safer to make the trades on the 4-hour chart than the 1 hour. I saw that question from MJ. Is it better to use the 1 hour to count the waves? Yeah. What I do, guys, is I start on the daily and I count the big waves and I get the main structure, and then what I do is I zoom in and then I count the sub waves on lower time frames, and I only go as low as I need to see the sub waves. Okay. So for instance, from a 4-hour chart, in order to see more detail, you might go down to a 2-hour chart. And then if you need to see more detail still, go down to the 1-hour chart. Cut it in half each time and see if that does. Okay? MJ, you finally... okay, you subscribed. Okay, good. I thought you was like subscribing to my channel today finally. Yeah. Samuel, thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. My son's name is Samuel, by the way. But thanks for that compliment. I appreciate it. Okay, I've done a lot of talking. That's BTC. So let's just synthesize all that together, and let's come up with our trade plan for BTC. My plan is I'm looking for shorts right here in this region right now, and I'm going to short it, and I am short right already. I'm in very small profit, but I'm in profit. I'm anticipating a move to 9,900. That's a potential in that ballpark, so I'm not going to freak out if it goes up there. I'm prepared to cut my trade if it goes beyond to the 1618 region. I'll show you that's about the $10,000 region, so I'm prepared for that. But that being said, I am looking to go short to the bottom here. If you're a more patient trader, just wait it out. Let it come down to this trend line, and then look for a potential. And I'm saying a potential long. Look for it to wick below that line maybe, and then continue to the upside. Now, a lot of times the way let's just go to a smaller time frame, and let me just show you the way they will finish a wave out sometimes. Just show you the way they finish them out. We're looking for 5 waves here down to the downside, right? So we'd be looking for 1, 2. What's going to happen is they're going to bring the third wave really close to that thing, okay? And then they're going to have a 4 wave that's really steep potentially, right? And everybody's going to think, oh, it hit, or it's going to come really close to that trend line, and then it looks like reversal, and then everybody's going to start going long, and then they're going to bring it down past this for the 5th wave. Okay, that's when you want to, so wait it out. Make sure that you've got that 5 waves complete, okay? So you got to be counting those 5 waves in the third subwave and be careful there. So that's a lot of times how they'll do that, okay? Oh, MJ, that's Merle. Okay, cool. I never knew who it was. Awesome. All right. Okay, we ready for LTC, guys? Twizzler. I got 22 of you watching, but 2 of you talking. Am I boring you to death? Okay. LTC, here we go. Hey guys, if you want to do something different in our live streams, just let me know. I'm new at this stuff. I want to give you something you want. If this is boring to you and you don't want to know about the stuff, just let me know. Trust me. I want to give you something you like. So don't forget. Okay. All right. So what we're going to do with LTC is we're going to okay. Let's go to the we're going to start in the daily, okay? We're going to start looking in the daily. Now, this is the move from the bottom here, okay? I've got these liquidity zones boxed off right here. You can see that. So these different liquidity zones are places we want to pay attention to and watch. Get that off the chart there. There we go. Now, all right. Thanks, Meyer, for that. Okay, so let's just start counting Elliott waves and see what we got. 1, 2. Now, why isn't this the third one right here? Well, because in the third wave, don't forget, we're looking for 5 subwaves, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2. I'm going to go up here to 3, 4, 5. Now, you'll notice the 3 wave, I think it's the longest, but 5 is vying for the longest here. It wasn't the longest, but certainly close. So remember, 3 doesn't always have to be the longest. It just cannot be the shortest wave. All right? Now, to count the subwaves in 3, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 right there. So this 5th wave here was extended. Now, and that there may be another way to count that. This could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, something like that. And that might be better, to be honest with you. Okay? If you look at the 5th wave here, we've got, this is a hard one to count, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a truncated 5th. This is an ending diagonal, I believe. Or some, yeah, I think it's an ending diagonal. You got kind of a wedge shape here, facing up. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how the 4 overlaps the 1 there, and then the 5th wave. I don't know. I'm not sure how to count that. That's a tough wave right there. Not certain how to count that guy. All right, but what we know is we've got, it looks like, if you just look at it, we've got 3 waves forming to the downside. So that's either A, B, C, or W, X, Y. Either one. It's 3 waves. Okay, but it makes a difference what it is. Okay, WXY is delineated by ABC, ABC, and then ABC. All right, ABC is 5 waves, 3 waves, 5 waves. Okay, which one are we dealing with here? I think we're dealing with a 5, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there. Let's go to the Hourly here, 4-hour chart. Let's see if we can see that a little bit better. I've been counting that as an ABC, WXY. Still might be, but man, this chart sucks, is what it does. Sorry, poor language. 1, 2. Let me measure that. It's been a while since I've reconsidered this thing. It looks more like an ABC, doesn't it? It does. It's hard to see that any other way than 3 waves. It's hard to see anything else other than 3 waves. This is obviously 3 waves. It's a flat. Now, this also could be. Yeah. I know. Sorry, it took me a minute to remember what it was. This also could be. I don't think so, guys, but it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is a 5th wave to the downside. That's 5 waves. Now that's bad news for LTC. That's bad news if that's the case. If that's right, that's bad news. Why do you say it's bad news? Well, let me just show you why it's bad news. If this is 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, we're going to have an ABC to the upside, and we're going to have 5 waves again to the downside. So that means we're going lower, 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 lower. So be careful there. This also could be simply W, W, X, and this is a Y. The problem I'm having with Litecoin are you buying, holding, selling? What's WYD mean? LTC. So I'm thinking this is a 5-wave move. Could be a 3-wave move. ABC. So hard. So hard. But I think we've got an ABC on our hands because this is very 3-wave-ish here. ABC. Now, the problem is this ABC is so small. And then we got A, B, and C again. That's what I think it is. That's my final answer. So let me tell you where I think that puts us at the bottom. Oh, what you doing? Okay, I'll let you know. Hey guys, you got to remember, I've got multiple goals for this channel. I want to teach, I want to share, but I'm not just a signal caller. But I'll give you signals. I don't know anybody else on YouTube that gives you prices and stuff like I do, quite like I do it. I try to be me. Okay, but it matters what this is. It matters what this is. I think that's ABC, ABC, and then we're getting ABC. So if that's the case, where does that put us? $41, $42, 1-to-1 extension, $31.58, maybe, maybe not. That's the problem. That's the problem I'm having. I don't know. I don't know. Let's just do this wave here and see what we get. Came down to the 1618 here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I know, and I don't know everything, is we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. we're coming down here from where we are. How far down? This liquidity zone is here. Another liquidity zone here. But I'll be honest with you, I just don't like Litecoin right now because the chart is just absolutely horrendous to interpret. Now, here's a couple things of note, just to note. This wave right here has come to a retracement level of the 618. 61, yeah, the 0.618, actually the 65. This is the goal. It's in the golden zone right now. So that's a price retracement there. So it is quite possible LTC is about done. I'm seeing. Remember, I saw that move down in Bitcoin. Well, I see a move down in Litecoin as well. One more move down. So that's going to correlate. Now, what it does after that, I'm not sure, but this could be the move right here. Just a little wave down here to 59 in this ballpark right here. One more push down, and then up we go for an upward move. Now, what that is exactly, I can't be certain, but it could be that this is daggone it. ABC, ABC, and then we're going to get another ABC down to the downside and reach these lower prices. I don't know. So it's a big I don't know burger in LTC, and I love LTC. I love trading LTC. Doesn't mean we can't trade it. It just means the big picture is fuzzy to me right now. It's fuzzy, but I still see a move to the downside correlating with Bitcoin. Now, what else could it be? Is this a 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5? I don't think so. This right here looks too much like 3 waves to me. That's a W, X. Y needs to be 3 waves, and I just don't see a clear wave there. But that could be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I think that's my final answer. I wish I had somebody here to tell me. You are correct, sir. Let me go to the 4 hour. 3 hour, whatever. Let's only look at this wave right here. That's 5 waves. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to get down here to 60, 66 at least, minimum. There would be your 5 waves of 3 of the third wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What would that put us at? $56. Puts us finishing around $56. The correction. Maybe. I can't be certain. Can't be certain. Yeah, 51ish might be right, Bryce. I mean, you might be right. I've got I did some TA on my personal, on my own the other night, and I was seeing $51 as a potential bottom as well, for sure. So what am I doing? I'm gonna wait for this thing to come down, and somewhere around $60. Well, I'm gonna actually I want to see 5 waves. I also want to see a wave that is approximately this size right here. I want to see a wave about that size. and I want to watch around. I don't know. I want to watch 5 waves and see what happens. Particularly as it correlates to Bitcoin as it comes down to 9,000. So as Bitcoin comes down to $9,000, I'm going to be watching Litecoin as well. I want to see, okay, what's Litecoin doing around when Bitcoin is at 9,000, because they're gonna be moving at the same time. They're going to be doing the same things. And so wherever price is, I'll be watching the waves, counting the waves at that way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just kind of watching and waiting on Litecoin. But I would be right now. I would be short in Litecoin. Why would I be short in Litecoin? Or I would be in cash in Litecoin. Let me just show you why. If I was in Litecoin, and I'm not in Litecoin right now anymore. I sold at 67 tonight. Why did I sell there? Here's why I sold. Now I excluded this. I've got a way to include it. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference no matter what I do with it. So let's include it. I excluded it, but I think I need to include it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. What is that called when you got a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? Who knows what that's called? That's a WXY. Okay. So if that's the case, when I measure this, you can see how we came up to the 1276 here in this region. Okay. Let me show you what these fibs when I measure this wave right here to this wave. The one-to-one correspondence right there, one-to-one extension is $67. So the 67 I knew was going to be. It's also equivalent to the structure zone right here. So I knew that was going to be an important zone. So I sold here at 67 at the top. And that's why I sold. He said, Jim, I didn't sell, and I missed that. Could it be going up for one more leg? Possibly, but I doubt it. But it could be, because but you look at the waves here. Just zooming in here. Take you to the 5-minute chart and show you the waves here. See them? One, two, 3, 4, 5. That could be done like that, or so the fibs on that. See what that gives me. Yeah, 618 is close. Yeah, it's close. This could be 3. This could be 4. If we get a reversal and a new high, then this is 3. This is 4. So this could be basically like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to get 5, and we're going to hit that upper target of 67.90, whatever it was. So that's a potential as well. But this would be basically A, B, and C. But it's looking corrective nonetheless, and we're going down. So I would be in cash right now. You're $1 off the high. It's not too bad. It's not a bad sale price now to sell it. And then say, Jim, but I bought it. What if you bought it more expensively and you would take a loss by selling it now? Well, here's one of my rules for trading. This isn't financial advice. This is my rules for trading. If I feel certain price is going to come down, I don't care. I don't care if you're taking a loss at the sale. You're saving money. You're making money as long as you're holding cash from up here. Because shoot, you sell up here and you buy back down here, you've got cash at cheaper price. It would be better than trying to hold it for price to come back. So if I'm ever in a bad trade and I'm going to take a loss by selling it, I don't try to wait it out. I'll sell it as long as I know price is going down. Now, if I'm not sure price is going down, I'll just hold the trade. But if I know price is coming down or have a very strong opinion about that based on the Elliott waves, I hold on to it. I sell it, and then I buy back cheaper, and that's better than holding it to come all the way down and then coming back up, because then you have the same number of coins that you had when you started by holding it. But if you sell, say I have $1,000 worth of coins down here, and then price comes down here, now I got that $1,000 to buy it cheaper. I'm going to have more coins when the price comes back up, and that's a better way to do it. So that's one of my rules for trading. If I know price is going to go down, I'm going to go ahead and sell it, even if I take a hit on that sell. What are you saying, Risky Road? What's up? YL, everybody trading shapes there. That's YL. He's my friend, and he's in Canada. And I already gave you a shout out, buddy. I already told him about your page. You missed it. All right. Any questions, thoughts, comments? There's LTC. Remember, LTC could have a top up here about close to $68. So know that, understand that. But I think we're going down after that if we make it up there. Yeah, Jason, no problem. My pleasure. You guys want to look at Ethereum? I know iGuy, if you're around, I know you do. So my advice to you on Litecoin, because I don't have a clear target, watch Bitcoin when it comes down to 9,000, if it does, and watch where Litecoin is around that target, and then think about it then. All right, fibs. Let's talk about the fibs. I got a question from Merle. Hey, later, Max. Thanks for stopping by. Okay. So on an ABC move, right there. Here's how you measure that. Okay. You take your fib extension tool. It's called trend-based fib extension. You just click the star and it comes to your favorites bar. This is my favorites bar right here. I can move that anywhere I want to. So there's my trend-based fib extension tool, and you're going to measure the first wave. So here's the first wave right here. We're going to measure it by clicking the bottom of it and clicking the top of it. With those two clicks, I've just measured that wave. I have a beginning and an end to it. Now what I'm going to do is put my bottom line. You can see how there's a bottom line there. I'm going to put that at the bottom of this wave too. So this is this 2 wave or the B wave. So that's an A or a B, or that's a 1 or a 2. How do we determine which one it is? Well, in a correction, this third wave would come up to the 1 or the 1276 line. Okay, the 1 or the 1276 in a correction. In an impulse, like I talked to you about in the beginning, it's 1, 2, and 3. And it comes up to the 1618 potentially, or not potentially, generally in most cases. So the 1618 extension is where a 3 wave comes. Then there'll be a 4 and then a 5 like that. Now, the 3 wave can also come up to the 2618 for an extended third wave, and sometimes it can even come up to the 3618. Shoot, it can go up to the 4618 if there is such a thing. The point is that the third wave needs to surpass the 1.618 fib extension. Make sure that's on there. Make sure you have the 1276 and the 1-to-1 extension, as well as the 1618. Those are the critical ones to have. Okay, so that's how you measure that wave, and you can do that to the downside as well. If you had a down move like this, okay, you can basically measure the first wave to the downside, and then put the line at the bottom, at the top of that, where the wave ends there, and then you get the extension. The 1276 is corrective, the 1618 is impulsive. Okay, there's the difference between a correction and a corrective and an impulse. So applying that to this market, look what we've got. This is the 3-hour time frame. You can see that we've got a 3-wave move to the upside like that. Okay. Is this corrective or impulsive? Well, right now we're bouncing on the 1276. As long as we continue down further, That's corrective. But what if we continue to the upside and we make it to the 68.20 range? Well, then you're dealing with something more impulsive. So you're dealing with more of a 1, 2, and a 3, 4, 5. Then there'll be 3 waves to the downside, and then on like that. So that's what help. That's what this. That's what how this helps you to know what's going on. Okay. So let's go down to the 1 hour and just look at that a little bit more detail. So if I exclude this wick, which is lower than that technically, but if I exclude it, this is kind of impulsive, right? It actually measures fairly impulsively. And this is right now at corrective fib levels. Right now it's sitting at a 1-to-1 extension. It's wicked up close to the 1276. If price gets past $68, $69 in Litecoin, then we're dealing with something other than a correction. We're dealing with possibly an impulse wave. But you don't freak out, because remember, if this actually turns into an impulse wave, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's an entry point, 5, and then you need to get out, or because it's going to be coming down 3 waves, and then it's going to be off to the races. So understand that. The only reason I don't call this an impulse is because this actually is a lower low than that. So this is actually higher. So this is ABC, ABC, ABC. That's the way I'm interpreting it right now. Unless the wave shows me something different. That's the way I'm interpreting it right now. But remember, I said with BTC could have a little bit more upside to it. But look at this corrective shape here, right here. See that? Look at that. Same kind of deal. This might go a little higher though. Could potentially go a little higher. Say how much higher? Let's look at it here. Could come up here to 99.05. And that would still be corrective. If it gets up here to 10,000, we're looking potentially more impulsively. So, and then I'm wrong, or I'm not wrong. It's just it showed itself to be something different. Okay. All right. Now I guess that there's an hour and a half of TA from Bitcoin and Litecoin, and I've kind of done some lessons there. Chart requests. What other chart you want to look at? We'll take a peek at it. Taking chart requests now. XRP. We'll do it. Whatever order they come in, that's the order I'm going to do it, okay? This is XRP. I'm on the 6-hour chart. I want to see what this move to the downside is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 isn't finished. Let me go to the daily here. If there's a traditional stock you want, MJ, let me know. Hey, have a good night, Ken. Thanks for stopping by. Glad you came. Sorry, guys. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I don't know what I'm thinking. It doesn't look good. It looks like it's going down more. It's hard here. This wave is really, really difficult. Okay, yeah, okay. Could be 5. So, to be honest here, from XRP's high, we've broken the low here. So it's still correcting technically from the high of 2018. I think we broke it. What is the low here? 23355. 24646. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. We broke the low, guys. XRP has broken the low. It's gone lower than its earlier correction. We're still going down. So yeah, it's looking close to finish though, but this is 5 waves, so that is going to be 5 waves. So let me zoom in. It's good then. It's ready to buy, y'all. XRP is ready to buy, maybe. One, three, four. Making the 5th wave. Almost done, but it's not ready. It's not finished. One more push to the downside. Guys, on all of these is one more push to the downside. So the way I would count this is this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this 5 is extended a little bit. So let's count 5 waves here. 1, 2. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so this is probably 3. This is 4. That wick is an anomaly. 4 has to be here. That wick doesn't count. I'm just going to exclude it. And then we're making the 5th wave. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're in the 3rd. Yeah, so we got downside to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just looking at proportionality, it's going to come down to about 22 cents. Just looking at proportionality. Where's that fit on the old lows? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I see XRP coming down to 20 cents right here. 22. I'd watch 22 first, then watch it a little lower. It's going to be down, but that's buy zone. I mean, what's a couple pennies? I don't know. It might be a lot, if you're buying tons of it. Yeah, it looks like XRP needs to go down a little bit more. Okay, there's XRP. Tesla, okay, Merle, XLM, all right. Let's look at Tesla. What's the ticker for Tesla? Do we know? Is it Tesla Inc. on the NASDAQ? Is that the one you want, Merle? Yes. We'll look at the NASDAQ here on the daily. Let's go to the weekly. Okay, there it is. It's coming down. I mean, Tesla might be coming up a little bit for a correction on the weekly. So, just first thing I'm seeing is this. Well, we came to the 1276 right here. Might be done. My guess, Merle, is that we're going to have another hit to the low. Another hit to the low, and then up, or up, another hit to the low, and then up again. Something like that. Ask Wax in our group, Merle. He's excellent at seeing that. But you can see all the liquidity zone right here. We've come down to it. Should be. So this is the weekly chart. So that means this up move is going to be over a period of weeks. That's the next several months. So we could have an up move here. Let me look. Let me zoom in and just take a peek and see. It looks three wave-ish. It's hard to tell there. Try the daily. We got a big gap to fill here. I think we're coming up here, Merle. I think a good trade potentially is up here to maybe 324, 300 to 324 potentially. Brings us back up to this zone. That's potential. I don't have a lot of experience with these, so I haven't looked at it. So and see what it does there potentially. It could go down from here, but I don't think so. Looks like there's a gap to fill there, but there's lots of gaps on this chart. Could come down here to 195 to 206 to 195 and then up. So I'm seeing a short-term up move potentially. So yeah, that's the best I got for Tesla. Hey, what's up? What's up, Mr. Altcoin Bonanza? How you doing, brother? All right, somebody asked for XLM. Let's take a peek at XLM. Jason, there it is. XLM, USD. Let's look at Kraken. It's my exchange. Daily here. That's a gap if I ever saw one. Made a new low from our top, from our 2018 top. Made a new low, just like the altcoins are dying, guys. I mean, they are just tanking. Not good. Not good. One, two, three. Gonna get a little bit of a push up. 4, 5. Yeah, we got an up move coming, then a down move potentially. So, not looking good for XLM. 3, finishing the third wave, 4, 5. Something like that, maybe. Not looking great. Yep, I'll get ADA. So yeah, XLM. I would wait on XLM to buy it. Don't. I mean, it looks like more downside coming. We already filled the gap, so we have filled the gap there. So that's a good thing. Yeah. But we didn't fill this gap down here. Probably look for 2 cents, 2.2. But we might get a little bit of an up move here. So I mean, it might be a short-term trade. I just don't know that I would take it personally. I mean, it's 40. It'd be a 43% move though. Be a good stinking trade if you caught that. I would wait for Bitcoin to start. Here's what I would do. Wait for Bitcoin to hit 9,000. Watching if it does. If Bitcoin hits 9,000, watch and see how XLM was acting and see where it is. And then if Bitcoin looks like it's bouncing, the altcoins will probably bounce with it. Bitcoin dominance has been really high though. So I personally probably wouldn't be trading the, Litecoin even has been hurting. Ethereum's been hurting. I would just be careful with the alts, trading those guys. I've been disappointed with the performance of Litecoin. I wish I was on an exchange that I could short Litecoin. I'd be shorting all day long. So yeah, watch out for XLM there. Be careful. All right, let's look at ADA. It's probably the same deal, guys. Probably the same deal. Let's go to a different exchange. How about Binance? That's Tether. I don't want that. Sorry, guys. There we go. Okay, so Cardano hasn't made the lower low yet. It hasn't reached its, final low. So the only problem is there's just no clear ABC to the downside. It has just it's just been a straight drop. So we are reaching the 1-to-1 extension right now. The 1276 is down here at 0.0295. That's a double bottom. Watch, we're bouncing right here on this structure zone. We might have another push down like with Litecoin and Bitcoin, small, and then upside move. It looks like we're ready to make some kind of a bounce right now. Look like all of them are ready to bounce at some level. Just how far of a bounce we're going to get, I don't know. I'm not sure, but we might be seeing the death of a lot of alts, guys. I'm telling you. Might be seeing the death of on some of these alts. Be very, very careful in the alts. All right, last chance for any charts you wanted to see. Let me make sure I covered everything. right. They're all looking the same. Watch Bitcoin, guys. Just watch Bitcoin. Watch Bitcoin at 9,000 and see what it does. Okay. Remember, don't forget Bitcoin could hit 10,000 tonight. If it does, then we might be looking to an impulse for the upside, and the downside is not looking as strong. So we'll have to pay attention and watch that. I don't think that's going to be the case, but let's at least watch that. Okay. All right, guys. Love you. Enjoyed being with you. Glad you. Hope you guys had a great night, and you guys let me know if there's anything else I can do for you in the long run. So you guys have a fantastic night. I'll bring another video tomorrow. We'll see what Bitcoin does overnight. Until then, you guys have a fantastic, fantastic evening. And those of you that are in my Patreon group, I'll see you right after this. We'll check in with you and make sure if there's anything else I can help you with, just let me know. All right. Later, guys.